Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry. Hello, Sabi gang. Good evening. If you can hear me loud, type in the comment section and say, I can hear you. Please, I want to welcome everyone. Okay, I can see the comment section, and I also know that there are people joining us. We have audience also on YouTube who are also currently live. Though I can't see their comments, I know they can hear me. Put in your favorite emoji in the building. All right, so put it up in the chat box. How are you all doing? Welcome to the grand finale of Skill Acceleration Bootcamp. Probably brought to you what I want here. Everyone here can attest to it, right? So my name is Makan Obizi, M to the A to the C to the A to the double NE, and I am super delighted to be your host for today's session. And our speaker is already in the building. We're so sorry, this session, today hear me. All right. So that's great. So how has it been for you since the started day one? This is the grand finale and this is the final day. We're meant to have this session on career elevation, work politics, visibility and promotion yesterday. And we want to really apologize. You know, there are times where we make plans, but then things would come up, and that was why the session did not hold yesterday. But I know you are still expected. So let me know your expectation. Type in your expectation in the comment section. I want to know what is your expectation for today's session. Today we are looking at this hour, we're going to be looking at career elevation, work politics, visibility, and promotion. What is your expectation? Can you type it quickly in the comment section? I want to see that in the comment section. I want to see that in the comment section. Okay, so I believe you're typing it down. I'm just going to briefly read the profile of our speaker because I know that he's here. He wasn't able to join us yesterday. So I'll briefly read his profile and then go off the stage so that he would be the one to take up the stage. And then we are ready to learn from him. I believe we all want to get promoted. We all want to move to the next phase in our career. And that is why this topic is so important. Everyone in whatever profession you're currently going through, you want to get promoted, you want to get visibility. That's so important. So our speaker is Kehinde Akintobi, and he is currently a senior talent acquisition and identification manager with Nigerian Bottling Company Limited. He is responsible for recruitment activities within Nigeria across a wide spread of job role, function, and business need. He previously was a manager and recruitment and executive selection services with Human Capital Partners, an offshoot of KPMG's Executive Selection and Training Unit. Over the past decade, he has gathered experience delivering human resource solutions to clients across the manufacturing, consumer goods, energy, telecommunication, financial services, and public sector. He has also been involved with several social enterprises and not-for-profit organizations, that is NGOs, focused on human development initiative, covering the life skills development, employability, and enterprise training. This includes organizations such as After School Graduate Development Center, Grace Business School, Harris Philip Life School and Learning Center. Everybody has something to give. An initiative of human leadership resource and Rehoboth Resource Center. Okay, he has contributed articles on career, youth development to Guardian newspaper, Youth Speak column, Business Day, and Timeless newspaper. He was also a guest on Robin Minds, on Channels TV to discuss employability. He has also written several online media, including Online Nigeria, Codewheel, Bella Niger. He was part of the organizing committee for programs such as the Elite Shift hosted by Harris Philip Foundation and a lot more. He is passionate about issues bordering on self-development, leadership, career, entrepreneurship, national orientation. He believes that Nigeria has tremendous potential, which must be unlocked in her people. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding clapping ovation, Sabi Gang, we know how to celebrate our very own. Please, can we make welcome Mr. Kainde Akintobi? Can we please put our hands together? I want to see your hands in the comment section. Can we keep clapping so that he can feel the love, he can feel our excitement in the comment section. So you are welcome to Skill Acceleration Bootcamp 2.0, proudly brought to you by Skill Factory Africa. And we are ready, really ready, and super excited to learn from you this evening. Please, sir, you have the stage. I'll be backstage at this point.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to confirm you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful work you are doing. It's a privilege, it's a honor to be here, to share, to interact with you, to share ideas, to look at perspectives. We need a lot of action like this so that we can drive human development and move our nation forward. I know that we all know that there are different gaps within the society where we live, but initiatives like this help to fill that gap and ensure that people are at their best level of potential. I'm sure you've had a wonderful time. The general counsel that we give is that let's not just focus on the learning, let's focus on utilizing what we have learned, applying what we have learned, deploying what we have learned. That's what makes us different. If you have a book and you don't read it, and you have a book that you read and you don't do what is inside, we are generally nearly at the same level. So it's important. We have a lot of conferences, we have a lot of seminars, webinars, we have a lot of libraries, bookstores, but the challenge we have is in execution. So let us, what we've learned, let's not wait for 2022. You can get a dream job this year, you can get promoted at work this year, you can realize your potential, you can deploy it this year. I wish you the best, and apologies generally. I was in transit. It's typically not my style to decline opportunities such as this, but I was generally in transit across some states, and it became a challenge. But luckily I'm back in the wonderful city of Lagos, and I hope that if you lost anything or you received any level of inconvenience, the value you will get from today's session would suffice and make do for that. So wonderful to have a lot of people here. I can see Paul, I can see Nixon, I can see Peter, I can see Edith, I can see Mona, I can see a wonderful hostess, and I'm sure that some people are online. And the topic is it looks like a PhD thesis, because when you look at titles like this that have a semicolon, it could be interesting. So career elevation, work politics, visibility and promotion. I will generally not share slides, I'll talk through it. I'll give a session for us to where we have comments, we have questions, I'll respond and just have those discussions. So the general theme is career elevation, work politics, visibility and promotion. I'm happy that the focus here is on career elevation because the foundation for you to progress is dependent on the foundation you have laid and the momentum you can generate. If you are looking at the foundation to progress, you need to look at what is the quality of foundation I've made, and then what's the momentum I can generate. So when we talk about career, we know that is generally a course of interest, is a summary of your work experience over a particular point of time. I know that the last speaker was saying that we lose momentum when we are scattered. What that means is that today you're an accountant, tomorrow you're a salesman, next tomorrow you're a microbiologist. We know, for instance, of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is at the helm of affairs at the World Trade Organization. We know that looking at her career, you could see that she was very much involved in public finance, international finance, and you could see how she built her career. So a career is a pathway. You know, you have a future in mind, you have a goal in mind, and then you build foundational blocks. And then that gives you momentum. Just like a plane doesn't take off from one location. It accelerates, it has a pathway. And then when you have that pathway, it provides a springboard. So we can't talk about career elevation when the foundation is wrong. People are scattered, you know. And then we can't talk about career when the motivation is also wrong. Some people are interested in a career just because it's very financially rewarding. If you are in such a situation, you may find out that your only inspiration is when you get your salary at the end of the month. But how do you survive the next 30 days, the next 31 days, you know, when you don't have something beyond the material value that you get from the job? What I'm just focusing on is on internal satisfaction. You must have some internal fulfillment. You must be happy doing what you are doing. You must do what you love, and you love what you are doing. So beyond the material things are not the core objective, but the outcome. So when you have a fulfilling career, it's easier for you to have, excuse me, a rewarding career. So I'll be resonating some of the things we've mentioned so that we can have emphasis. So those are some of the foundational pillars that will guide our discussions. One is that let us be emphatic that we're talking about a career, not just a job. So what's your career? Do you want to be a human resources professional? Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? And those are the steps that generally help you to gravitate in the right direction. When you have a clear goal, those that are religious will say, write the vision and make it plain, that you may run that it. You must have a clear vision so you can determine the next action, the corresponding action to make your vision a reality. We talk about China in the world as a world economic power, but they have 50-year plans, they have 20-year plans, they have 10-year plans. And when you cast the right vision, you can now accelerate yourself in that direction. So it's not too late to cast a vision. It's not too late to start working on it. So the second thing we mentioned is when we also talk about career, find out something that you're passionate about, find out something you have flair, you have natural potential in, you have keen interest in, so you can avail yourself of the resources that the creator has put in you. And then you can now, it's easier for you to thrive and prosper in that career. You know, a lot of people, they are scared going to work. They are sad going to work. They are not happy going to work. So if you are in a career that, or in a job role that you're happy in, it creates a better platform for you to perform well. So in going further in more detailed context, we'll be looking at career elevation, work politics, visibility, and promotion. The last speaker talked a bit about visibility, some of the things you can do to drive visibility. I'll just talk about around other things in general. Now, we realize from a religious standpoint, though there are different perspectives, the general understanding is that the world must have had a start point. And that start point showed that when man became into the structure of the society, when man became situated into the context of a family. So you find out that according to the Greek philosopher Aristotle, he had also mentioned that man is a political animal, because you can imagine your family structure, you can imagine your how your home is structured. If you're married, you know, if you're single, how you grew up, you have your father, you have your mother. If you grew up in such a background as mine, for example, you may have some people that you are the Ghanaian families in the family. They're the ones that will go and make advocacy on behalf of others. There are some people that you want to get something from your father or your mother, you would rather route your request through them. Some of us may recall when our mothers wanted something from our fathers, that is the day that she may cook pounded yam and egusi soup or his best meal. If this is your reality, you can put an icon or an emoji. Let's know that we are communicating. So what we are trying to establish is that we are generally and naturally in a politically dominated environment. You are in a political structure. When you go into a bus, when you go to an airplane, you have a pilot in an aeroplane. You have the attendants, the flight attendants, in the hostesses in the airplane. So there's a structure everywhere. If you want to get to your destination, you have to accept the leadership of the pilot. When they say sit down, you sit down. When they say stand up, you stand up. So generally, in every unit of society, there's a political structure. No matter how intelligent you are, no matter how talented you are, no matter how rich you are, there are certain policies, there are certain laws, there are certain requirements that determine how you succeed as an individual in the country where you find yourself. Whether you're going to the United States, whether you're going to Europe, you are going to the West, wherever you are going to, there are specific laws. So there is a political structure. When people see politics, they think it's only about voting, about elections, but there are realities. Even when you may be pursuing a relationship, and then there are certain expectations that you must have in dealing with your potential spouse. So we are generally in a political environment. So it's very important to establish that. And it's important to know that from research, findings have shown that what is needed for success in career is not essentially just the functional skills. It's not just the technical skills. It's not just your knowledge. It's also about your social and emotional intelligence. And when we say your social intelligence, it talks about how you can effectively relate with other parties. So that understanding of relationship is critical to your success everywhere. You will see some of our politicians. I remember President Olusegun Obasanjo. You find out that a number of them are skilled. They have understanding of different local languages, and that gives them easy access into different communities to be able to pull votes. So those are skills, those are traits that people use so that they can have access. So what is the general orientation in the workplace? So you have thousands of people, you have hundreds of people, depending on the kind of company you are working in. Now, it's important as we are making efforts in our careers to also be sensitive to the kind of organizations that we belong to or the kind of organizations that we join. Don't let your motivation for joining a workplace only be money. It's good. Money is a good factor, but it shouldn't be the solitary decision. There are some companies, I don't want to mention names, they pay much more than some of their counterparts, but people don't want to work there because they have a counterproductive culture, or they don't have a toxic work environment. So the first foundation is that you should make an informed decision when you are looking for a job or you are searching for a job. How do you get this information? Some of this information you can see on some career platforms. Some of them you can see on platforms like Glassdoor, where employees give reviews, candidates give reviews about companies they've been interviewed with. You can also gauge the opinion of people that have worked in those companies so that you are making a right decision. So I just assume that, let's assume that we have all these things covered. So you have a career path, you have a clear career path, you have a fulfilling career that you're pursuing, and then you have made the right decision to work in a company of interest that you feel has the right enabling environment for you to succeed. What are the realities about work politics? I wrote a few things here. Is that one, you should understand that your working relationships are essential to your success. You don't work in isolation. You are not an island. No man is an island. Even an island is surrounded by water, and that means that it's not isolated. So, it also requires interaction for it to thrive. An island is surrounded by water, and it needs water for its plants to grow. It needs water, to create a conducive atmosphere for people to live. within that space. So your work relationships include your subordinates, also called associates, your peers, your direct colleagues, your reporting lines, your supervisors, the management, your division. So when you are joining a company, it's important for you to know what the vision is for each of these, what the vision and the strategic goals are for each of these units. What the business goal, for example, you can't work in a microfinance bank and be expecting the goals of a tier 1 commercial bank. So you must understand what's the business direction, what are the goals. You may be in customer care, you may be a security guard, but it's important to understand what's the big picture. That's why some people in companies, they are a burden to their organizations because they're just there to collect salaries. They don't add significant value. So when you're a security guard, you know that not everybody that is coming into your organization is an armed robber. So the way you treat them with politeness, with kindness, because you are looking at driving the next potential clients that can transform your company from a second tier to a front tier organization. So first is to identify the critical work relationships for your job role and as a potential employee of reference in the organization. Look at the business goals, look at the business objectives, look at the business vision, the strategic vision, understand where your business is going to. Then 2, what are the essential work relationships you need to succeed? Then I've mentioned your subordinates, I've mentioned your peers, your direct colleagues, I've mentioned your supervisors, and then other management decision makers within the business. When you understand their objectives, it's easier to have a better working relationship because you can find out how each of your functions can interrelate. Now, one of the things that is best in an organization is to be neutral. There are political realities, especially when you're working in a company that has several staff. People join factions. It's best for you to be neutral. Within the United Nations, there are some countries that are neutral in certain war scenarios or certain areas of conflict. They don't support, it's just like Nigeria is a debtor to United Kingdom, China, and United States. And these 3 nations are going to war. Nigeria has to be neutral because you have working relationships with these 3 countries. Nigeria has a massive debt profile with China, United States, and United Kingdom. United Kingdom were former colonialists, so it's best for you to be neutral. Let your identity be the service and the value you have to offer. Because the truth is that some people have lost their jobs because they belong to one cabal, one clique, or one faction. So when the head of that faction loses his or her job, let's give the example. A lot of us watch football, and a good player is not determined just by loyalty to the current manager of the team or the current coach. He must be able to demonstrate the skill set, the values, and the output that makes him a point of reference regardless of whoever is a coach. So one of the things you must understand is that you are supposed to render service. So if anybody wants to have anything with you, ensure that it doesn't have anything to do with your job. Ensure that you are punctual at work. Ensure that you give the best. From biblical perspectives, you can see examples of Nebuchadnezzar or Pharaoh. A lot of people complain, oh, this boss is strict, this big company is this company is that. But if you are somebody that is known for consistently delivering value, for making valuable impact, you will have less issues. People will not want to lose talent. But when you are the one that is known for gossiping, you are known for conflict, you are known for lateness at work, you are known for always agitating for increase rather than delivering value, you are known for absenteeism, you are likely to be carried away with the wave when it comes. So we've mentioned that in a company, as you join a company, identify the business objectives, the goals, identify the critical relationships, then always ensure they are somebody that renders service and delivers value. When we're talking about delivering value, ensure that the value you give is more than what you get financially. So if you are paid 100,000, try and deliver a value of about 200,000. Don't dress based on how much your salary is. Dress in a way that shows us the direction of where you are going to. You know, so give it your best shot. I can see Paul Oyewusi's profile here. I can see Nixon's profile. Dress sharply, you know. So always, some people, you are hindering your progress when you shy away from giving value. You know, so give more value than what you are paid for. And that is a platform for which people will see, and they will say, wow, this person, we should consider him or her for promotion. You know, now, the second skill set that we need to master is the art of communication. It's very important that we know how to communicate in the workplace. There is a way you can say something. You can tell somebody to get out in such a way that the person will say, thank you very much. You know, you will say, oh, sorry, could you please excuse us? We're having a meeting here. Oh, sorry. But hey, get out of here. There are two different things you've said in two different ways that have different meaning. So you must learn the art of communication. A lot of people don't say what is exactly in your mind. Say it in a way that will appeal to the senses of the individual. So I say a lot of people, you are quick to send a mail. Before you send a mail, don't rush. Don't send a mail when you're angry. If you don't have anything good to say, zip up your mouth. Make sure that your words are like marble, that they are valuable. Make sure that your emails, because all these things are evident communication channels that have been observed by people. And when you have done them, when you have sent that mail, when you have uttered that statement, you may not have the opportunity to recall it. So if you are somebody that has consistent mood swing, there are different mood boosters. I think banana, chocolate, different items that you can take to boost your mood, and you must be in control. Because you live in a crazy society does not mean you act crazy. So you must be the distinguishing factor. You must be a source of positive reference. So one of the things is important is to know your communication style. And the communication style is always dependent on the situation. It's dependent on the objective. You know, you find in some situations where people want to achieve something, they are very intelligent, but the approach they are using in communication is ineffective. You must know whether your leader or your stakeholder you are managing prefers you to meet him in person rather than talking over the phone. You must know whether he prefers you to raise an objection when everybody is present, or he prefers you to come into his office. So you must understand everybody's style. So you must learn to understand people, not just to be understood. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Let your words carry weight. So when you say it, sometimes it's better to under-promise and over-deliver. So in terms of communication, you know, it's critical. You must learn not just the art of communication, business communication, because that's a channel by which your ideas are presented, by which your objectives are channeled. You know, you must learn communication, you must learn presentation, because you are going to be dealing with individuals. When you have an opportunity, they usually say something like an elevator pitch, how you maximize the opportunity. You are going to be attending meetings, you are going to be, so understand how to get things done using the best possible approach. Sometimes it's a phone call you need, not an email. You know, some people are known to send stinkers up and down, but sometimes it's a phone call. You have a phone call, you address the issue, not the person. Address the issue, not the person, so that it's not personal, it's strictly business. So address the person, the issue, and not the person. I've talked about neutrality, I've talked about communication, I've talked about service orientation, I've talked about vision, I've talked about resource orientation, and one other component here is dependability. Dependability. You must be somebody that people can rely on. Those are some of the things that cause fractions within an organization. That cause dissatisfaction. You must be somebody that your colleagues can rely on. your director can rely on, your internal clients can rely on. It must be a responsible reference point. So the first way to navigate the world of politics is to ensure that you're in the right bucket. To ensure that you're in the right bucket. It was rumored that the richest man in Africa, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, this is just a rumor, we don't know how true it is. We saw evidence of him being in both the house of Goodluck Jonathan and congratulating Buhari. So according to rumors, which we don't know whether it's true or not, is that he donates money to each political party, so that whichever political party comes into power, he has some level of good relationship with them. So you must be careful to not soil the relationships you have. Now, if you are dealing in a chaotic or very political work environment, there are a few pointers that we need to know. One, don't let people know what's going on in your mind. You don't know who is a spy. You don't know who is an opponent. You don't know who is your friend in a very, very political environment. For example, some people have been asked to compile the list of staff that will be thrown out of the business. Though it's not right, there was a situation of a company that was having an interview, and they put all the candidates in an observatory room. So they were looking at them with hidden cameras. And there was a slight delay in the interview process, and candidates were saying, which type of company is this? They don't value time. They are not serious, blah, blah, blah. And the camera was just taking notes. I'm not saying that what the company did is proper. I'm just sharing some experiences. Now, they made their selection decision based on the candidates who were polite, who were respectful, and who held the company in good regard. So you don't show your hand. And I tell people, when in a world that is digital and when in the 21st century, don't think that your supervisor is not on WhatsApp or is not on Twitter or is not looking at your LinkedIn profile. Some people, everything that goes on in the organization, they say it on social media. I've seen where people lose job opportunities because their potential employers ran a background check on them and checked social media and saw things that were either hate speech, discriminatory, or not just indicating good judgment. So we're in a digital world where the world is getting leaner and leaner, and people are getting to Telegram, social media, Twitter. You have to be conscious of what kind of information you share there and how you present yourself as an individual. So in a political tense environment, don't let people know what is going on in your mind. I don't like this new MD. People will just sit down and look at you and say, he's in the other cabal. So don't let people know what's going on in your mind. 2, have more friends than enemies. Have more friends than enemies. Stop trying to increase the number of enemies you have at the workplace, because you don't know where you may need help. It may be the security guard. Treat people the way you want them to treat you. So sow a seed of favor, sow a seed of kindness to other people so that you can call on it. There are some people that they get things faster because they have better relationship skills. They get things done. Yes, everybody knows that getting things from the procurement department is hard. Getting things from the finance department is hard. Getting things from the finance department is hard. But there are some people that they have mastered the art of relationship with people. So it's not just about you just being good on your job. You must know how to cultivate the right relationships with people that you're working with. Ensure you don't need to be visiting everybody. Just find out a style that works for you. You can be diplomatic rather than being confrontational. You can be democratic rather than being a dictator. So find a style that appeals to other people and makes you a point of positive influence or reference. Those are things that generally help in terms of your orientation at the workplace. Then apply wisdom. Apply wisdom. A lot of people are brash, very brash. You scream, you shout, you talk before you think. And then when the repercussion is coming up, you'll be running. So sometimes it's not about you knowing your rights. Sometimes it's about you stooping to conquer. What exactly do you want to achieve? And then what do you need to do to achieve it? whenever you want to react to a situation, remember your long-term goal. Remember that you may not have the opportunity to retrace your words or to retrace your actions. So put that in mind. Apply wisdom before you do anything. When somebody hits your car, and then before you come down of your car, just think, whatever I'm doing, how does it help me facilitate my long-term goal? When your car is already covered with comprehensive insurance, you want to fight on Third Mainland Bridge, where Agberos, armed robbers can come and take advantage of the situation. So just think before you react. When somebody sends a mail, don't be quick to reply. When you are summoned for a meeting, just give yourself maybe 2 minutes. Let me just prepare for the meeting, because you don't know whether you are going to the battlefront. Have your facts ready. Look through your achievements. Look through the challenges. When you have a challenge, begin to brainstorm about the potential challenges. Understand who you are working with, and then the approach that you will use in managing the work relationship. So I'll just talk about a few other things so that I'll give room for questions. So the topic we have is multiple trunks. So career elevation, work politics, visibility, and promotion. So I'll just talk a bit about visibility and promotion and see some of the things that we must be doing. Now, it is assumed that we are very skilled at what we are doing, but you must also have the knowledge to communicate what you are doing. You must be not, as a good friend of mine says, Asoko Okon, you must not just be working, you must be seen to be working. So when you are in a meeting, ensure that you always have something tangible to say, something tangible to contribute. Don't be quiet and say, my idea is foolish. Then prepare for a wise idea before you go to the meeting. When they want to get volunteers for a project, you can signify you are becoming visible. Why do you have 30,000 followers on Instagram and on LinkedIn you only have 10? Because your visibility in the professional workspace is what is going to enhance your next career move. Some people have become popular. Yeah, it's important for you not just to be popular, but also to be credible. Yes, we understand that. But you must be visible. You must be seen. Some people always shy away from having meetings with senior management. Some people shy away from meeting the MD in the staff canteen. You must be comfortable around the business. You must have a good understanding about the business. You must not have a low self-esteem, because just think of the future. Series of examples about Joseph, who had the opportunity to go before Pharaoh and went in the best available dress, best available attire. And when he went and saw Pharaoh, Pharaoh just asked him to interpret a dream, but used the opportunity to communicate the wisdom about how to navigate from a period of famine to a period of progress. So think about moving the company forward and use every opportunity you have to communicate that. Next thing, also learn to speak up. Sometimes you have to bring some things to attention. Sometimes when you don't speak, people feel that it's a sign of consent. When you have a yes or no question and you don't say anything, when you say maybe, they think you're either indecisive or you're hiding something. So sometimes you may need to raise attention of something that is about to happen, something that is negative. There are three things that I know we are generally called to. You are called to solve problems, you are called to prevent problems, and you are called to manage problems. So this may be a problem you can't solve, this may be a problem you can't prevent, and it's coming up, you have to manage it. Then escalate. Don't be shy to ask for help. Because when the whole world comes crumbling down, we need to be able to prevent such a situation. We will have about the Ikoyi building collapse, and some people, they are lucky they are not in court because they spoke up and said that we don't want to have anything to do with this. Or some people resigned, So to avoid yourself being swept with an inferno, you may need to speak up so that people can see clearly that you are not a part of the negative thing that was going on. Now, it's important for you to also document things. A lot of people rely on verbal communication, A lot of people rely on chats. Ensure you have an email trail for every conversation. If you travel, have receipts. If you need something, send an email, because that will provide a trail of evidence. Because some people can deny, oh, never called me, never spoke to me. But when you have evidence, it provides a basis for you to avoid judgment when we're investigating issues. So you have a trail. For example, if you've been sharing your ideas by mail, somebody, it's easier for you not to have a situation where somebody is saying, it's my own idea, because you have a mail trail. You are sharing your ideas, by mail. People could see the trail and they can relate with those ideas as your own. So I've mentioned that don't just walk, be seen to be walking. Also learn to speak up and escalate. Learn to ask for help. Learn to document your results. And then learn to document your communication, rather, and then learn to communicate your results. If you do this, it will provide an enabling platform for you to thrive and prosper in the marketplace. Now, I don't know if we have any questions. Maybe I will just take them because the topic is quite wide, so that I can speak more specifically to your areas of interest. If you have a question, you can put this in the chat box. I'll respond, and then.
Okay, Sabi Gang, thank you so much, sir. That has been eye-opening, really enlightening, and I've been taking down a lot of notes. So thank you so much, Mr. Kinde Akintobi. Thank you so much. I know there's a lot more you want to say about this, but because of time, but guys, this is the time for you to ask questions. First of all, I want you to just appreciate Mr. Kinde Akintobi for the value he has shared thus far, and then go ahead and ask your question. So while we're expecting questions, and we just have a few minutes to wrap up. Okay, let me see. Let me read out the comment session. Okay, Nixon God's will says, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Nixon. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone who has been engaging in the comment session. Thank you so much. My note is filled up. Thank you, sir. Okay, Nixon, you have a question. Please, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can just, drop it in the comment section. I can see your hands up, Nixon.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, Nixon. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. My question is this. First of all, thank you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Akintobi, for the wisdom. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the knowledge shared. So my question is this, he talked about having a good communication approach or speech, that is knowing how you address someone and not responding with anger. Now, a situation where you're managing a firm or an organization and then the staff misbehave, and then you tend, that situation where your staff is not doing well, and then you want to really pour out your anger on the person to know how serious you are and the rest of it. Yeah. So like situations like that, do you really need to actually consider the words you use and all of that? Like, do you have to be very polite about everything?
Okay, so you can be polite and you can also be firm. So one of the things is that I mentioned, address the issue, not the person. So you have somebody that is consistently coming late. That's an issue. It doesn't mean that is an irresponsible person. You know that if you probe, you may find out some reasons behind that action. Sometimes we make judgment calls on people because we don't have adequate information about what exactly they are going through. You know that some people's performance issues are based on gaps in their life, maybe financial pressure, relationship crisis. Some people, it may even be as basic as the kind of mattress that they use to sleep, or what's happening in their houses. So you can have a more person-friendly approach. let me point a scenario to you. Do you know that when somebody is generally quiet, sometimes when people see him or are angry, they are wondering that what must you have done to upset this person? You know, but when people know you as a volcano, you know that your intention is to get the best of staff, not to lose them. So don't transfer the aggression. You can call the person for a meeting. Oh, I noticed this trend. You generally have been coming late. What are the issues? I'm not blacklisting you, but can you just share with me the issues? You don't wake up early. Do you want to start looking for a place closer to work? What's the issue? You know, do you cook, or you find out if that person feels that you're more of a friend. And then if that person continues, you can now call the person to another meeting or address that this is what the company policy says. If we don't see any changes, we have to implement it. Let people know that you give them the best opportunity. You know that in football, some managers are able to get the best from talent. You know, so when you have children, you're not caning them, flogging them. You may even make them more violent or more radical. So be a friend to people. So I said we can have more friends at work rather than having more enemies. A friendly approach, is better. You know that some people will refuse to leave a company because of how their line manager is. Some people, a key reason why companies lose staff is because of people's perception of the line manager. You don't want to be a terrorist. You don't want to be the type of person, some fathers in those days, when you hear the sound of the horn, everywhere scatters. Now, is that child likely to go and tell that father when he or she has a sexual molestation issue?
No.
So there are some line managers that have such a wonderful working relationship that when people want to resign, they say, I want to resign, but I just want to confide in you. So can people confide? Show that you are interested in people, not just the work that they do. Check on them. What stops you from visiting people? What stops you from calling people? Because there is more to the employee. There is more to the person than him being an employee. That person is a potential husband, potential wife, somebody's father, somebody's son, apart from Tiwa Savage, somebody's son. So when you're interested in people, you are more likely to get the best of them. You must understand that politics is not limited to upward working relationships. Even the people in your team. If people are motivated to work for you, they give you the best.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that answer. Thank you so much. I believe, Godso, you've been able to gain a form of clarity on that. We have a question from one of the participants, and the question is, it says, what is the most important skill to possess while seeking a job? So for someone who is trying to gain entry into the corporate sector and trying to get a job, what is the most important skill to possess?
It's difficult, some of these jam questions. It's difficult for you to place a skill. It's also situational based on the job you are looking for. For example, the skill set for a driver is different from the skill set for a receptionist. But there are three things that you will need. One is skill, one is knowledge, and then one is attitude. In terms of skill, you need technical skills. So if you're a driver, you must know how to drive. That's the technical skill required for that job. You must also have knowledge about yourself to know what you can offer, knowledge about the company to know where they are going, knowledge about the industry to know how the company can set themselves apart, knowledge about the economy, the macroeconomy, to know exactly what you need to do. Then you have the right attitude, a positive mindset. So the first thing I will advise is for you to even outline what career you want, and then you can have the questions from there.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. If I got you right, you said, first of all, the person, we need to identify the kind of career we want to get into, because the kind of career will determine the kind of skills that is required for you to have. And then most importantly, whatever skill, whatever sector you're trying to get into, you should have the skill, the knowledge, and the attitude. So those three things, I'll call it SKA. I like acronyms. So skill, knowledge, attitude. Thank you so much, sir. Do we have any question, please? I think we'll say a few more minutes before we let Mr. Kinde say his final words, and then we'll move on to the next session. I just want to know If we still have any question, those on YouTube, I'm trying to also stream on YouTube on my laptop. Please drop your questions there, or you can just unmute yourself on the live broadcast and ask your question. So while we're still waiting for that, Mr. Kaide, what will be your final words to us in this bootcamp today?
Okay, so maybe a few things. One is, in whatever you are doing, be a person of value. Add something. Be the person that the business will miss if you are going. You know, some people are resigning and then the business does not miss them. If they say they need 1 month's notice, the business can say, can you go in 2 weeks? So the first is, be a person of value. 2, be a person of vision. Have a plan for yourself in the next 10 years. You know, when do you want to retire? Well, how do you want to live your life? Have that vision. How much money do you want to have? How much money do you want to hold? If you have 300 million, how are you going to spend it? So be a person of vision. Thirdly, be a person of relationships. Learn to foster relationships with people. When you resign from a company, still be friends with the company, the employees, the management. You never know. This world is small. Don't just, you are supposed to resign under 1 month, you say a job, you just resign under 1 week, you know, you burn the bridge, you say that useless company, that wicked company. You don't know in the future. I understand some of the ministerial appointments that came to Nigeria, there were references from people that worked with these people before. The Okonjo-Iwealas that we know, the Dora Akunyili's, people had references about them, and that is part of what gave them access to power. So be a person of value, be a person of relationships, be a person of vision. Be a person of principle. Let it be known that there are some things that you never do. Let it be clear. When they say who stole money, let your name not be on that list. When they say, you know, who are the people that will come late for the training, you know, let it be clear that we know you, so we can trust you. I'm sure you have all these things. Regardless of wherever you find yourself, you should thrive and then make progress.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Kaide Akintobi. For those of you just joining this session, we've looked at career elevation, work politics, visibility, and promotion. Please do well to catch the replay because it will be much value for your time. And just like Mr. Kaide said, you have to be a person of value, vision, maintain relationship, and also have principles. Thank you so much, sir. We would not want to delay you further, but it has been an awesome time learning from you. Thank you for sharing from your wealth of knowledge. And one thing we would promise you from all of us at Skill Factory Africa is that we would put into practice what we've learned, and definitely we would have testimonies to share. So Sebi gang, do well to, you know, follow Mr. Kaide. Can you just tell us your social media handle so we can follow you on social media, connect with and
okay.
more from you?
LinkedIn is Kaide Akintobi. You see me on LinkedIn. Twitter is, I'll write it in the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Sabi gang, you know how we do it. Go ahead and follow Mr. Kaide Akintobi on all his social media profile, and make sure you are also following us, Skill Factory Africa, on all social media handle. Make sure you share whatever you've learned from this session. He has shared a lot of things. Let everyone know what you've learned, and most importantly, take action. We want to see you rise in your career. Thank you so much, everyone. We've come to the end of this session. My name remains Mac-Ann Obize, and we still have a lot of other sessions coming up. Make sure you're still here. Don't go nowhere. Thank you so much.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you for the opportunity. Nice having you here. I wish you the best. I wish that you prosper and thrive. And then I'm sure we'll all see as a place of elevation. I hope that early next year, we should be able to try out a publication on choosing a career. We'll make it as public as possible as part of our contribution to initiatives like this. Wherever you need my assistance, support, we can help. We've led some other initiatives, including helping people set up libraries for youth. I also have a number of colleagues who are willing to support and partner with initiatives like this. We wish you all the best. Try and implement the things you've heard, not just in this session, but across the entire program. And I pray that your expectation will be not just met, we will be surpassed.
Surpassed. Thank you. Thank you so much. From all of us at Sebi Gang, we're grateful and enjoy the rest of your weekend, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the penultimate session of the SAP 2.0 2021. And this is Sam Mabaride. I want to welcome everyone. I want to welcome our panelists. We're very sorry for a bit delay. That was a technical issue. We're very sorry for that. Thank you very much for coming. And guys, this is going to be massive. This is going to be massive. We have our panelists in the house already. And I want to welcome Mr. Wisdom. I want to use this opportunity to welcome Mr. Chibuna. I want to welcome as many as the participants that are here. Also, you all are welcome to the penultimate session of the SAP 2.0 2021. This is Skill Acceleration Bootcamp brought to you by the Sabi Gang of the Sabi Tech in Nigeria. This is Skill Factory Africa. And quickly, I would like to introduce our speakers, but then this is massive. Guys, I don't even know where to start from. I would like our panelists to just please do a bit of introduction. They will have to just do that by introducing themselves. We have Mr. Wisdom in the house, Mr. Wisdom Chap Jumbo. I'm sorry, I don't know if I get that right. Mr. Chibuna, Ogbona, thank you very much for coming. And we have a lot of viewers also on YouTube. People are connecting to us through YouTube, and they'll be sending their questions in as time goes on. Please, I would like to hear from Mr. Wisdom. Please, if you can hear me very well, sir, I would like to hear from you, sir.
Hello, testing my mic. Can you confirm you can hear me?
Yeah, I can confirm I can hear you, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure to have you here tonight. Thank you very much for honoring the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Chibuna, please, I want to confirm that you can hear me clearly, sir. And I want to welcome you on behalf of the team and the participants. You're welcome to SAP 2.0 2021, hosted by the Skill Factory Africa.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very clearly, sir. You are very much welcome, sir. You know, we can't wait to have you speaking to us. This is a huge honor. We are very much thrilled to have you here, and I want to thank you once again. I'm looking forward to other panelists joining us very soon. This is the penultimate session at the Skill Factory Africa Skill Acceleration Bootcamp 2.0 2021. And this is the panel session. It's going to be a panel session dealing with mental health, how to handle pressure as a young person. Mr. Chibuna, please, can you kindly introduce yourself, sir? I just want to know you more. I want the participant to hear from you directly because I don't even know where to start from. You know, this code we have in the house tonight is just so amazing and it's value packed. I want you to just do us a bit of honor by introducing yourself, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you to everyone tuning in today from wherever you are in the world. I'm very, very happy to be here. My name is Chibuna Ogbonna. I'm currently the co-founder and chief executive officer at Kiru Energy Limited, a clean energy company poised to enable better access to electricity across Africa. And currently I'm based in Hamburg, Germany, and I'm doing a fellowship program with the International Sustainability Academy here in Hamburg, and looking at how to develop better business models in order to continue our work. So I currently lead a team of about 5 innovators, and we are really very bullish about how we can enable better access to electricity across Africa, and that's what we do. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's so massive. Guys, can you hear that? We have Mr. Chibuna joining us all the way from Germany, honoring our invitation. So I hope you're getting your questions ready. I hope you're ready to get loaded, because myself now I'm getting my writing materials ready and I can't just wait to get started. Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, Mr. Chibuna. I'd like Mr. Wisdom to please introduce himself also while we are with other panelists and while we gather questions from the participants.
Right. Thank you so much. My name is Wisdom Chap Jumbo. Yes, you got it correct. That's how to pronounce it. I'm a corporate communications specialist, and I work in Olon, or as Olon, a renewable energy investment company, and I'm happy to see Chibuna here. Our work as investors in the sector is to create the enabling environment for people like Chibuna to scale up. Chibuna is one of our investees at Orlon. Yes. So the work we do at Orlon is to sort of create an enabling environment for the sector, finance the sector to be able to scale, and also to provide electricity or power for Nigerians and underserved communities. So that's what I do. And aside corporate communications, I have working experience around broadcasting, around media relations, and I'm a global shaper of the World Economic Forum. Yep.
Wow. Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, sir. Thank you very much. Guys, get what we have. We have another panelist joining in. We have another panelist joining here now. We have Miss Morabe. I don't know if I get that right. Please, if you can hear me, can you just confirm that, please?
I can perfectly hear you, and please confirm you can hear me as well.
I can hear you. Can you just do the favor of introducing yourself to the participants before we dive into this?
Absolutely. And first off, it's wonderful seeing you here, Makan. From Lagos to, I never knew you were part of this. But yes, my name is Mirabel Mora, and I am currently the Community and Communications Manager at the Social Enterprise World Forum. And that's the largest social enterprise conversation and conference that happens in the world. And we've been having this conference for 14 years. And this year we partnered with Google, SAP, and the rest of this major governments of Nova Scotia to make sure that different people who run social enterprises, whether in rural communities, whether they are in urban areas, they all have access to converse with tons of different people and also meet different investors. And I also run Blank Papers Media, which is an online platform that is all about amplifying the work that young people are doing around them. So that's a brief bio about myself.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mirabel. I think I'm having a bit of issue.
Miss, not Mrs., but Miss, thank you.
Oh, Miss Mirabel, pardon me for that. So, guys, I want to see the chat box bustling. I want to see. You can see the line of the speakers we have tonight. You know, truly better is the end of the thing than the beginning thereof. The end is going. This is going to be massive. This is going to be fire. Just drop the fire emoji. Welcome our speakers. Welcome our speakers, and use this opportunity before we dive in properly to share this everywhere. Share it everywhere. Let the people know that it's happening again. This is the Sabi event, the biggest event of the year going on right now. I want to also tell our speakers that we have viewers from YouTube that are also tuning in. So we don't really have much people here, but we'll be getting their questions across from YouTube down to this place. So guys, I want you to start throwing in your questions now. And you know, I would like to do a bit of introduction of myself. I am Sam Mabanide. I am the general coordinator of this bootcamp, the Skill Acceleration Bootcamp 2021. And it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much for coming. Now, this session is about mental health. Subtopic is dealing with pressure as a young person. You know, this is a third world country, and different challenges faces young people in the society. Different challenges facing different people in the society. And wow, guy, just wow. I have to do this, guys. I have to do this. We have Lord T in the house. Pardon me, I am very sorry. I didn't notice you. I have a lot on my table. I'm doing here right now.
Who did I forget to? Me.
Just.
No wahala. It's okay. I see you're getting on with your job. No wahala. Everybody here knows me. If you don't know me, you're on a long thing.
I've been trying to literally tell the moderator privately, hey, Lord T is here, Lord T is here, Lord T is here.
How dare me? I am very sorry for that. Please.
No wahala. Go on. Everybody knows me. Google Gusitobi. Google Gusitobi. You'll find out. All right, go on.
Please, we know you, but we still like to hear from you. And I don't know on behalf of
Let's go.
On behalf of the participant, I don't know if you can just turn on your camera. I want to see your face.
Don't worry, they know me. Go ahead. It's okay. Mirabel.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Gusitobi, Lord T. Thank you very much for that, at least for forgiving me. So this is about mental health and dealing with pressure as a young person. Guys, I haven't been seeing questions. I'm expecting questions here before we engage. Yeah. She's global. Man, energy. Just Lord T. I'm very sorry for this. See, the comment section is bustling. Guys, she's too good. Global dodo. What is this? Wow. So we dive in properly now. I'll have to be shoveling in between the Zoom and YouTube to get questions here, because we have viewers from YouTube also and from inbox. So excuse me. Okay, I think I have a question here. Okay, someone is asking. I would like to ask Mr. Ogbonna to just answer this. Someone is asking, what do you do when you are not born into a house that is that rich and buoyant, but you really want to make it up to them, and then it seems you are not making headway, and there is this kind of pressure. You have friends, you might be in school or whatever, but you have friends that are doing well, but then it seems you're not making headway. How do you handle such a situation? Mr. Ogbonna, I don't know if you are here, please. I would like you to just.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much for the question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. First of all, before I answer the question, I want to appreciate my fellow panelists. I've been inspired by Mirabel, I've been inspired by Ma'am Gusitobi, and also Mr. Wisdom from All On Energy. They invested in our company last year. They helped with giving us a seed capital of about $10,000. So I'm really, really honored to be on this panel today to speak with these great people. So to answer the question, the first thing I would like to encourage the person who asked this question is that, first of all, your role as a human being is to yourself first, to understand where you stand, right? And then you are able to use your mind to create ideas, because ideas come to you always. So being the firstborn in your family, or being the one that everybody looks up to, right, in terms of financially, should not be should not be a burden on you, first of all, because you can be able to create ideas, and then you can also find a lot of opportunities. It's just that people are not searching, and they're not searching for these opportunities, and your mind has to be ready for opportunities to come to you. Okay, and you have to be in the right environment for you to find the right people to work with, the right people to interact with, who will share opportunities to you. So money does not fly from heaven, or money does not grow on trees. Money is in the pockets of people, and you have to be a person of value in order to get exchange of value, which is money. So if you find yourself that you can offer services, what are the skills that you can learn? Nowadays, there are so many digital skills that you can learn and be of value. If you have ideas and you can start a company, you can start a company. If you have your skills that you can be of service to another company, you can also join a company. So the basic thing is not really about money. Money is not anything. Value is the main thing, because money is attracted to value. So you have to be a person of value. And for me being on this panel today, something was seen in me in order to say, okay, let's invite you to this panel, right? So, and for that reason, I'm also here to share that particular value with all the listeners and all the participants here. So the person should look at how they can become a person of value. So that's what I would advise. Yeah.
Wow, that's as simple as it is. It's very powerful. Be open to opportunities. What can you do? Wow. What can you do? What are the things you can do? Thank you very much for that wonderful answer, Mr. Ubona. I would like Lord T to just contribute to this. I can see her in the comment section. Please,
I'm here, full time.
Can you please just contribute to this?
Okay, what was the question again? Because Chibuna is taking me to another level. What was the question again?
The question is, this person is trying to know how to handle this situation. He was not born with a silver spoon, and he wants to make the family proud. But then it seems she's now going through this kind of oppression, and depression wants to start setting in because there is a lot of pressure from friends and peers who actually have something doing, and who were born with silver spoon. But this person, in this person's case, it's different. So he's asking, how can you overcome such a situation? How can he handle such a situation?
Okay, because in your question there's a lot of he and she, so I'm wondering if it's a girl or a guy that's asking this question. But regardless, go on.
The person did not state gender, so.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're saying that the person is feeling pressure, and because you were not born with a silver spoon, but your friends were born with a silver spoon, so you're feeling pressure from them.
Yes. And you are trying to make your parents proud.
And that's why you're feeling pressured.
Yes. What can you do to handle the pressure?
First things first. You saying that you're having pressure, identify the kind of things that you want to achieve for yourself. Why are you being friends with people that are pressuring you in the first place? Your friends should be people that elevate you, inspire you. So if you're friends with people that are born with a silver spoon, they should know right from time that they should not pressure you. So vet your circle. Make sure that if you're connecting with people, you're connecting with people that they understand where you're coming from, they understand your background, so you don't start receiving unnecessary pressure. Because I feel like people give themselves this pressure. It's not by force to be OBO's friends now. So if your friends are people that are giving you pressure, then vet your circle, change your circle. It's very important that you start building a circle or a community or the kind of friendship that will help your mental health and then help you achieve your goals. What kind of goals do you want to set? And then if you say that you want to make your parents proud, making your parents proud is relative. Is it making them proud? Is it by bringing money? Is it by being, some people making their parents proud is getting married. For some other people, making their parents proud is getting a house. For some other people, is traveling out of the country. So you need to identify, are you trying to make your parents proud, or are you in your own mind thinking that you're making them proud by doing what you think they need you to do? Sometimes you just even need to have a conversation with your parents. And I know that a lot of young people in Africa, Nigeria to be precise, we're not big on having conversations with our parents. So we don't even know what they expect from us. We just, because our society has made it feel like, oh, you need to attain a certain level in life and they'll be proud of you. That's what we feel. Sometimes it's conversation. For my parents, I know what I would do that will make them proud. And I'm currently doing that. I was over pressuring myself at some point, trying to see that, oh, I have to be doing this, I have to do that, I have to be here, I have to be in different countries. No, but that's not what they're looking out for. They appreciate that, but that is not, in quotes, going to make them proud. So you need to identify for yourself. And then for the friends, I'm very particular about that friends part. When you say my friends are born with a silver spoon, I'm not. It's okay to have friends that are born with a silver spoon, but vet your circle. If they're giving you pressure, Benny, bounce.
Jesus. I just hope this person that asked this question is just listening to all this. Man, I'm literally shaking here. I love the energy. Miss Mirabel, please, I know you have something to contribute. I've been seeing you in the comment box, just... No, Lord T have bounced the person that asked the question.
Lord T has said too much energy. Gusi, the eyelash, you have not finished putting it, but thank you so much.
No eyeliner.
And so, but it's the same thing, or the same thing with Lord T. Like, what kind of pressure specifically, Seth? Is it, I mean, pressures are plenty, Seth. Is it even black tax pressure, like Lord T has said? Is it pressure to also be successful like people? And pressure not they finish. The same way they say problem not they finish. Pressure not they finish. You continuously keep feeling pressured about different things in life. And then for me, I think 3 things that can help you out if your friends are born with a silver spoon. Just what is it exactly that you're feeling pressured about? Do you also want to make money like them? There there are different paths and there are different routes to success. There's no one size fits you. It doesn't mean that because your friend is successful, that because you don't have a silver spoon doesn't mean that you won't be successful as well. But on the other hand, ask yourself this thing that you're feeling pressured about, is it necessary? Will it matter in the next 6 months? Will it, how is the feeling going to help me now to achieve this thing that I want to go and achieve? And then the second thing, if you're feeling pressured, I think you should find someone. There's nothing as wonderful as being vulnerable or having that go-to person that you go to speak to about something. So if you're feeling pressure about a particular thing, like say, oh, I'm feeling pressure that I want to go to Harvard, but I don't have money, then speak to someone about it. Someone you feel like usually I said, someone that circle of yours, someone that understands where you're coming from and where you're going. And the person can tell you, man, you're tripping, or no, you're not tripping, or this is how you can get to where you want to go to. And yeah, those two.
Wow, just wow. Thank you very much. This thing, I don't know how you guys are feeling, because myself, I'm literally shaking here. These are wonderful contributions. I told you guys, we have fire in the house tonight. Better is the end of the thing, truly. The word of God is ever true. Thank you very much for those wonderful contributions. Avoid unnecessary pressure, build quality relationships, set your goals. Ms. Morabel said you should be vulnerable. Wow. You should be vulnerable. That is their strength in weakness. She even asks if you are making yourself proud already. Are you making yourself proud? That's one thing you should also ask yourself. Are you making yourself proud? Before you want to say you want to make people proud. Thank you very much for the wonderful contribution. We have a question right here on Zoom, and I think I passed it. Sorry. Mike Han is asking to all the panelists, as a young person making global impact, how do you handle pressure from society, family, and friends? I would love you to share your story, experience, and how you handle it. I want to believe that all the panelists heard this, but I would like to read the question once again from Obize. To all the panelists, as a young person making global impact, how do you handle pressure from society, family, and friends? I would love you to share your story, experience, and how you handle it. I would like Mr. Wisdom to start here. I would like to hear from you first. If you can hear me, please. I would like to hear your contribution on this question.
All right, Sam. Can you take the question slowly again? I think you were so fast.
All right. Sorry for that. Okay. And here's the question again. As a young person making global impact, how do you handle pressure from society, family, and friends? I would love you to share your story, your experience, and how you handle it.
Okay. I think as a young person, generally, if you live in Nigeria, or if you're a Nigerian, there's usually this pressure, and first and foremost, the pressure starts from peer pressure. Your peers around you. There's always this pressure that comes. First of all, but how do you really handle it? First, you have to know yourself. Do you know yourself? Can you define who you are? When you know yourself, it helps you to take a position on how to deal with some of these pressures when they come, especially peer pressure. I know there was those time back then in uni days when there were so many times I had to make a decision of either joining my friends to go club, or choose to do something else that will be very useful and important to me. I'm not saying clubbing is not bad, but is a clubbing convenient all the time? Will you be procrastinating to do other things because you need to go clubbing and hang out with friends? So you need to know yourself. You need to know what you want. First, you need to know yourself. Second, you need to know what you want out of life. Is the best way to handle some of this pressure. When you know some of these things, it makes it easier for you. So for me, it's how I've been able to deal with pressure. I have a lot of friends around me who you would think, oh, Mr. A is doing more than you, Mr. B is doing this, Mr. C is doing this. But you have to realize that there is time there is time for everything. Everybody's season is not the same. Because this person achieved this at the age of 20, it doesn't mean it's your season. So thirdly, in life, you have to understand your season. You have to be able to walk around some of how these things come to you in life. You need to understand your season. There were times where I had friends who were doing, in fact, so many things that your heart will be shaking, like Wisdom. You're not useful in life at all. See your mates, see what they are doing, you know. But there's season for everybody. Learn to stick to your season. You know, the way it has happened for Mr. A, I'm telling you, doesn't mean it has to happen for you like that. Some people wrote their first book at 50. Some people made their first million at 50. Some people made their first million at 24. The guys that sponsored the last Big Brother show, those two companies, they were owned by young people who are at 24 on under 25. It doesn't mean because you are 30 now or you're 25, you've not made your millions. It doesn't mean you are useless, you know. So you have to learn your season. Everything will come around at the same at the appropriate time, you know. But again, prepare yourself so that when your season comes, you will be ready to grab it. Don't be hanging around and then not prepare yourself. And then when that season comes for you, you are not ready to grab it. Opportunity comes but once. You have to prepare for the season. So while you are happy for Mr. A and Mr. B that they are making waves and they are doing this, you have to also prepare for yours. I was in my NYSC camp. I was in NYSC with the current commissioner for youth and sport in Oyo State, Sheung Fakoride. And today, Sheung is a commissioner of a state, you know, and I know how we talk. He was a platoon leader, and I was supporting him as an assistant platoon leader those times. You know, I know how an amazing leader he was leading the platoon in camp. You know, I know how we talked about leadership and everything. But today, his season has come. He's a commissioner for youth and sports. You know, he's my peer. You know, but now looking at Sheung, I will not go and be killing myself. I say, oh, this life, I cannot be commissioner. See my mate, Sheung is now a commissioner. It doesn't work like that. But you know what I will be doing with my own time is to prepare for my own season. You know, it will come, but it shouldn't come and then I'm not ready to grab it. Then that's an error. You know, so what many young people do that they further elongate their pressure, or they further add to their pressure, is that they don't prepare. They don't prepare for anything. So I tell young people who are in school now, who are in uni now, I tell you, look, when you are in 200 level, begin to prepare for after graduation. What do you want to see? What do you want your life to be after graduation? You know, if you don't start preparing it now from 200 level, by the time you get to final year, go to NYC camp, you come back and you'll be in the house, you know, and there's nothing to do. You know, I know when I was in school, I was working during the day, you know, and I go to classes in the evening from 5 to about 10 p.m. And a friend of mine said, Wisdom, now what for you? You too like to stress yourself, all this stress, you know. But you know what? After I finished school in Ghana and I returned to Nigeria, my first job, I got my first job even without NYC, was because I had, you know, the required working experience, which I have had over 3 years, you know, and I wouldn't have gotten that if I wasn't working and schooling in school, because I had the opportunity to do that. So many people don't prepare. So prepare for that season to come. It will help you to reduce your pressure. And then lastly, be contented in life. Many young people, the reason why they fall into severe pressure is because they are not contented in life. The little one they have, they are not okay with it. They are oju kokoro. They want to put their eye in the one that is not their own. You know, because you have a friend called Davido, and he can afford he can afford to ride in the private jet, and you don't have it. You want to kill yourself. You know, you want to, by all means, you want to drive Davido's private jet, even when he did not give you the key to go and drive it. You know, long throat. Yes, thank you so much, Chidera. Long throat. So young people need to be contented. You know, a lot of young people, they are not the one that they can afford for themselves. The one their parents can afford for them now. They are not okay with it. And then use what they have now to prepare for their season to come. But no, they want to, they by all means, they must get it now. Or, you know, I know back then in school, most people that killed themselves and fought over themselves for iPhone 6 and iPhone 7. You know, today now we have iPhone 13. You know, I couldn't afford iPhone 6 back then. But by the grace of God, today, if possible, I can afford iPhone 13. It doesn't mean because I did not use iPhone 6, they will throw me away. You know, now I'm using iPhone 13. So you see, this is how you have to be contented. BlackBerry season caused a lot of problem. Today, BlackBerry is not in existence again. If you use a BlackBerry, a version of BlackBerry you use now, people will look at you as a cake. You know, it just tells you that life has its seasons. You know, when you understand these things, you know, I think it will help young people to cope with pressure. 3310, thank you. Nokia 3310 was a thing that year. If you don't have it, you are not the latest, you know. But today, if you hold a Nokia 3310, you will be looking like a grandpa or a grandma, you know. So let me not take much of our time. I'll just tell young people these few points I've mentioned. Know yourself, know your season, prepare for your time, be contented. I think these few things is going to help young people to be able to manage pressure.
More than enough. That is Mr. Wisdom dishing wisdom. Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution, Charlotte. I know you have something to say, but right before you say it, I want to believe Paul is in the house.
I have something to say. How do you know?
I know. I can see you in the comment section. Man, the wisdom in the comment section alone, it's enough to just make me to be feel like overflow. I don't know. So I want to believe Paul is in the house. Paul, please, if you are in the house, get question from YouTube and you can send it across to this place. And also you can help me to support if we have any panelists joining. Please, I would like Lord T to add to that wonderful contribution from Mr. Wisdom. But before you add to it, the person still asked the question that there are different kinds of pressure young people face. Can you also share specifically what kind of pressure you faced and how you overcome them? Lord T, over to you, madam.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. I like that Wisdom was very specific and detailed with his answer, and he was direct as well. But one thing I want us to understand is that pressure can also be positive. I mean, I'm friends with Victoria Anna, who's the founder of Scale Factory Africa. And Victoria sometimes puts pressure on me, especially when I tell her some of my goals I want to achieve. So it still boils down to people in your circle. So if you're saying peer pressure, I'm very big on peer-to-peer mentoring for those that are close to me. Yes, I have mentors high up there, but I know that there are people in my space that I should be learning from. Not that I can't learn from, I should. So it's a deliberate thing for me to do. So yeah, peer pressure, it has its negative side, but it also has its positive side. Then the second thing, which is going to lead me to talking about my personal experience, is many of us are doing the same thing for far too long. It's not like you're not doing the right thing, but you're doing the right thing for too long. Like he said, there is a time and season. There is a time for you to do something and a time for you to switch. You switch your technique to achieving that goal. Yes, your goal, for example, my goal is to increase the participation of volunteers, increase the number of people that volunteer out there. And then I started Girl Hub Africa. As at 2019, there was a lot of pressure. Oh, you have to continue. Oh, this thing is going global. Oh, this is that. The Holy Spirit is on one hand telling me you have to switch. Now is the time to switch. But I was holding on. Why? There was a lot of recognition coming with it. There was a lot of awards, a lot of, international publications and all of that. And then you feel like, oh, since this thing is bringing, and we like gratification a lot, especially for young people that are doing something. So far, the awards are coming, the recognition, they're using you for man crush, woman crush, you're always excited. So it makes you feel like, wow, I'm doing the right thing. And then the people in quotes that you feel like they're high up there, they're recognizing you, you feel like, oh, this is the right thing I'm doing. It's the right thing, but most times we do the right thing for far too long. And some of us stay on a position for far too long as well. So you need to understand that you might be doing the right thing, and then it's putting pressure on yourself. Now that takes me to my own story. Like I said, I started Girl Hub Africa in 2017, leading on to 2018. And I mean, it was going amazing. I had a lot of, I had thousands of volunteers across how many states? We didn't go to Borno anyway. We didn't go to Jigawa, the far north, but we had a lot of volunteers across Nigeria. Now, on one hand, the Holy Spirit was telling me to switch. It was time for me to do something else. Somebody else could handle it. But I was holding on too much. Why? What will people say? How will people see me? I will not leave Girl Hub Africa like that. I'm going to do something else. No. I've already told myself. That is the pressure you put on yourself. That's the pressure you put on yourself. If you know and you are convinced that, okay, this thing is time for me to switch, liaise with the Holy Spirit. I don't know how many people are Christians here, but I'm a Christian and I'm coming from that angle. Liaise with the Holy Spirit and then understand your time and season. I like what he said about time and season. There's a time to know and there's a time to be known. I'm going to take that again. There's a time for you to know and there's a time for you to be known. I learned that the hard way. If you were following me, you will notice that for the better part of 2021, I was not online at all because it hit me hard. Personally, this is my personal story. It hit me really hard and nobody would understand because I refused to let go when I was supposed to let go. There are things that you're doing now that you should either switch your technique. I mean, the pandemic came and the pandemic is a fantastic thing that happened for me anyway. But if you don't see the beauty in the pandemic, you will run out of strategies, you will run out of ideas, you will run out of, that's when you start receiving pressure. But the pandemic has come and said, okay, now is the time to switch. How many people do physical volunteering? How many people do volunteer tourism? How many people travel across different states to volunteer? Not so many people. So how can you be innovative with your volunteering? How can you infuse technology to volunteering? Those kind of things. That's what I was supposed to be doing at the time. But no, I was a local champion, encouraging myself, saying yes, and everybody's calling you mama. They're using as WSW, you're receiving awards. It feels like it's a good thing. Yes, it is the right thing, but you're doing it for far too long, the same technique. So you need to understand when to switch. And then, like I said, there's a time for you to know. There's a time for you to go and learn. You cannot know everything. As I'm here, I'm still learning. If you notice, I keep taking courses. I keep taking and implementing. I go and take the course, I take the course and implementing. When those things will be relevant for me, you start hearing my name, you start shouting Ojoro, they don't give a Lottie again. But there was a time I went to learn. There was a time I went to know for myself. And then, for the person that asked, so I've shared some part of my story. If you want the rest of the story, please come and pay. It's just $150 for 1 hour session. And then moving on from that, I wanted to talk about, because I know that a lot of young people see these things when it comes to awards. This is the season of awards. They're putting out young people. Oh, most this, most that. And you know, a lot of young people put pressure on themselves. Let me quickly do this project so they can mention me as one of these. You are wasting your time. Are awards a good thing? Absolutely. They are good. They actually inspire and encourage you and make you feel like, yes, you're doing something good. It's a good thing. But it does not validate the work that you're doing. That's what I want you to understand. Because I know personally in my space, there are a lot of young people that feel like, oh, if they are not mentioned in some certain awards, that means they're not doing as good as, or people are not seeing them. Trust me, even those award people, they are seeing more than what you're doing. So don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself because people don't validate what you do. So far, you know that you're doing the right thing and you're on the right path and you know where you're heading to. Continue with what you're doing. I'm just going to end there for now so other panelists can have their time.
Hey, my God. You're literally burning me here. Like you are spitting fire. This is fire, raw fire. Lord T, God will bless you. Let me prophesy. Should I prophesy? No, it's not your time. It's not your time. So please, you mentioned something that there's a time to know and a time to be known. So I would like another panelist to let me know. That prompted a question from me. Mr. Chibuna, please, how do you know it's your time to be known? How do you know it's your time to be known? What are the things that will tell you that, okay, it's my time to be known?
Okay, well, I'll reverse that question to say I actually know when it's time for me to go and know. I don't know when it's time for me to be known, because that depends on the efforts I put in knowing, right? So the first thing I would like to say is that every young person needs to have an anchor. So what do I mean by an anchor? You need to have something that you hold on to, a vision. You need to have a purpose. You need to have an ideal or a dream that you uphold, okay, that makes you to wake up every morning, that when you go back to bed at night, you are looking forward to the next day. So that anchor is also, you can also tie it to God. Like for me, I also tie it, I tie it to God, and the vision that I'm carrying inside of me is what propels me to take the actions I take. It's the center of my life. Every single thing I'm doing, every decision I'm making is around this anchor, it's around this vision. So my story is that I started my company in my third year in the university. And before that, I wanted, when I left secondary school, when I left the Air Force Military School in Jos, I didn't just want to join the Nigerian Defense Academy or just go into the university to study and then, get a job in an oil and a gas company. I wanted to do something different. I knew that I could do something different in the world. So I started looking at the problems or the challenges in the world. And from my background, which is science, I looked at the subjects I was very good at, which is geography and chemistry. And I was like, okay, maybe I can have something to do in this regard. And I discovered chemical engineering and also the issue of climate change, environment. And that was where, those ideas started coming and forming. So when I joined the university, I schooled at Federal University of Technology, Owerri, Futo. And when I joined the chemical engineering department, I started attending courses, attending workshops, attending seminars beyond the scope of school. Okay, like sometimes I had to miss lectures to travel to Lagos or Ondo State, anywhere, just whenever I could just find the knowledge I was seeking. And what was that knowledge? I was so interested in renewable energy as a means of reducing carbon emissions and as a means of, fighting climate change. So that was where my interest came in, and I kept moving and moving. I traveled to Lagos a lot of times. There was a Friday I traveled to Lagos and attended a conference on Saturday and came back by bus on Sunday and went for lectures on Monday. And my colleagues were like, wow, Chibuna, how was your weekend? I'm like, yeah, very nice. But they don't know what happened throughout the weekend. And all this while, building capacity. And at the end of the day, I was like, okay, what will I do with all this knowledge I have now? And then I started my company. It was the very unrealistic thing to do as a Nigerian student. My GP was at stake. My family members, everybody's like, why do you want to, why are you starting a company in school and all that? So what I'm trying to do, even say most especially, is that before I even started my company, I was, based on the fact that I came from a military background, there was this pressure for my family to go into the military and become a naval officer. So, and things were quite difficult for us, my family, around 2017, 2016. And I decided to leave school. I decided to leave Futo to go to Nigerian Defense Academy without actually listening to God's direction, right? And when I left Futo, I got to NDA. Even with my military background, I could not survive the training for more than 2 months. And I felt terribly ill in NDA, and they had to bring me back to my family. So after that, I withdrew from NDA, and then I had to go back to Futo. So I missed out on my second year in the university, and then I had to repeat 200 level in the university, right? So I repeated 200 level all over again. And then my mates were going to 300 level, which was very, very difficult. Watching my mates in 300 level lectures, and me, I'm still under 1 tree in Futo receiving lectures under a workshop. And it was very crazy. My mates were coming back from lectures. I will still be in the workshop, those kind of things. So that particular time, the pressure, of looking at your mates advancing and you yourself, you are still behind. But one thing helped me, the fact that I had an anchor. So after I failed in that NDA, I had to retrace my steps and ask myself, what do I really want? And what did I actually love to do? And then I retraced my steps and I found back my anchor, which is my vision that God gave to me. And I started pushing. So I started my company that same 2017 with no prior business experience. I just started just the same way, attending events, attending conferences, learning, connecting, and then doing a lot of networking. That's where I also met Madam Gusitobi. She came to Futo once to speak and we also connected there. So you see, all this culminated into where I am today. Just the fact that I kept being consistent. So the first thing is for you to have an anchor. And then again, you need to focus on your own race. Don't be sidetracked by what your family is saying or what your dad is saying or what your mom is saying. Know yourself for yourself and try your best to understand where you are going. Know your current position and your future milestones. That is very, very important. Another thing I would like to say again is that you can look up to someone, but you should not become them. You should become yourself. You can look up to people, you can be inspired by others, but you should try your best to become yourself. So one of the books that really helped me a lot as well is The Purpose and Power of Vision by Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory. So if you are in this call and you are not an avid reader, please, you need to invest in reading a lot of books. You need to invest in reading a lot of self-development books because they will help you a lot as you are building your future as well. Then again, is that you need to know your priorities. So for me now in my company, my priority is looking at how we can get more customers, looking at how we can grow the business, and be profitable. So those are my priorities now, looking at how I can manage my team better, looking at how I can become a better leader. So I cannot start investing in things that are not my priorities at the moment. So things like going for parties, this is not the time to be doing all those things. This is the time to build. So as a business owner, I know that this is the time to build and not the time to party. So you need to know your own priorities as an individual. Then another thing again is that you need to focus on your own race and speed. So you need to focus on your own race. Stop looking at your friends. Okay, maybe your friends like in the startup space, our friends raise millions of dollars for their own startup, and we are looking at how we can raise our own money. Everybody's time and space is different. Everybody's industry and space is different. I mean, the clean energy space, it might be quite difficult to raise huge amounts of money than those in the fintech space because of just the way the startup ecosystem is in Nigeria or in Africa. So if you understand your vision and where you are going, you'll not be in a rush. You will not be pressured at all. Okay, you'll not be pressured at all. And another thing again is don't be a people pleaser. Don't try to impress. Be a person of value. Like I said, when you're a person of value, you don't need to impress anybody. You don't need to have an iPhone to be impressive. You don't need to have a MacBook if you cannot afford it to be impressive. You don't need to buy a suit that you cannot afford in order to impress. What comes out of your mouth, what is in your head, and the vision in your heart, those are the things that make you a person of value. So for every young person here who is facing one pressure or the other, these are some of the things that I will really say. And also stop comparisons. Don't say, I've not discovered my vision, that means I'm useless. No, keep searching. Because the Bible says that if you ask, you will find. If you ask, you receive. And if you seek, you will find. And when you knock, the door will be open unto you. So you need to keep looking. So basically, these are the ideas that I have shared. And I believe that it will help everyone. There are many things I wrote down here, but I can't say everything. But these are
my head is catching fire. My head is catching fire. Someone said in the comment section that this is the operation you must have sense. Like you are literally fixing sense into our head. Like the thing is currently empty. Like they are bringing sense and they are just forcing it down. Thank you very much. That's wonderful. That's proven. That's beautiful. I don't even know how to describe that. Thank you very much for that wonderful answer. And you made some notable points. Lord T, thank you very much. You even wrote some here in the comment section. Have an anchor, focus on your race, set high on the goal, get inspired, but be authentic. Stop unnecessary comparison. Don't impress. Man, thank you. These are the things that are actually troubling youths nowadays, and you've just hammered them and shattered them into pieces. Thank you very much. You must be from okay, don't let me say that. Okay, I would like Miss Mirabel to just answer this question. Our time is fast spent. I hope we can just spend the whole day here. My day is made already. This is enough. My day is made. My day is made. The panelists we have here, they are just spitting fire. I don't know what's going on. Someone is asking, Miss Mirabel. Someone is asking. Earlier, a panelist mentioned that you should build a good relationship. Earlier, a panelist mentioned that you should build a good relationship. How do you build one when they are not available? For instance, you are born in a slum. Now, they are telling you to build valuable relationship. How do you build one when they are not even available, when you can't even see them, you can't even see people of value around you? How do you now source for one. How do you build one? Miss Mirabel, I don't know if you are here. Thank you very much. Please, I want you to just shatter this person's objection and let them feel some fire.
Okay. If we know K-Factor Kayode Hamid Alabi, K-Factor shares his story, how he came from, I can't remember where it was. I can't remember the particular place he said he grew up. Either it was Makoko or somewhere around Bariga. I'm not very sure. But he didn't come from very wonderful circumstances. But recently, K-Factor was one of the MasterCard fellows or scholars. And then when speaking about you come from a place where you can't see a lot of role models around you, people to emulate. First, if you have social media, you can try your shot by cold messaging people or just trying to connect with people online. But secondly, if you do not have social media, if that's something that is not within your reach, then there are some people like Abisoya Jaya Kim Folari of Pearls Africa. She started a girls can people who run initiatives within communities like this. And then if you're very serious about wanting to find the people that you want to look up to, then of course they will not be in your environment, but you have to be intentional. You have to somehow find a way to scout for conferences that you think that the people around you, that the people you want to surround yourself with could be around. So it could be when you are walking around town, you see a flyer somewhere, a billboard somewhere that's advertising, something. If you check on Facebook somewhere, you'd see a flyer somewhere that's advertising something. And then there are also people who come to these communities to either hold small workshops or small seminars or small outreaches. And then you reach out to them, and then you never know, they could be your stepping stones to things. And then there are lots of times I grew up in Calabar, and then people would say, oh, there's nothing inside Calabar. I can't see anything to do inside Calabar. I can't do XYZ inside Calabar. And I tell them, okay, good. You want to go to Lagos? Good. But I mean, there's Gracie H. Amaizu, there's been James Okina, there's XYZ number of people that are, in quotes, being successful. Like you said, you want to be successful. And then I say, well, you might not have everything that you need to grow in your present circumstance, but it doesn't mean that you can't find those things that you need to grow by just trying to stretch your arms a little bit beyond Makoko or Bariga or Rushoki or wherever that it is that you are. And also ask questions, talk to people. Yes, you said you can't find them, but if you find that one person, make sure that you ask a ton of questions. When you find that one person, maybe you go to somewhere and then you find that one, make sure you ask a ton of questions. Say what you need, tell people what you need, tell people what you want to do. You never know, they'll be like, oh, really? Okay, give me your phone number. When next they're having XYZ, maybe we can call you. You meet Lord Toby, you meet Lord Williams, you meet her XYZ, and she can put you in a 1, 2, 3 thing. So things always seem so impossible where we are, but if you can persist a little bit to dream a bit more and just know that something would come, this too shall pass and better things will come.
Wow, thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. Mr. Chibuna is sharing some important, I think, websites in the comment section. You are going to share it so that we can round up the event. But quickly, Lord T, you said something in the comment section when I first read out the question. You said limiting mindset. Please, I just want you to shatter that limiting mindset in just 2 minutes before we round up the session. Just 2 minutes. Shatter the limiting mindset once and for all. Then Mr. Chibuna share the website with us, then we round up the session. Thank you.
All right, no wahala. So Mirabel has even said like everything I wrote out. She literally said everything. So first things, it starts from the mind. I'm not going to say, oh, I wasn't born with a silver spoon or I come from the slum, but I know 1,001 people. And I like that she gave examples of people that have come from there. And those are the people you should be looking up to. Forget people in your space. Those people, your environment will never encourage you to become the best version of yourself. You always have to aim higher and look higher. There are people in your space that maybe you want to dress a certain way. They start looking at you, hey, what's doing this one? You always have to aim higher. And then it starts with the mind. It starts with the mind. How do you see yourself? I go for events, I go for speaking engagements, and people come and meet me after the event. I already know those that have low self-esteem by the way they greet, by the way they even come and meet you. You already know. That means you don't even understand the value you carry as a person or the value you can offer. That is why you even come like that. Some of them come bowing and everything. I'm not saying it's not good to respect, but your mindset has to first understand that you are a person of value. Don't limit your mindset. Don't limit your mindset to your environment. Olakunle says this all the time. Destiny is location sensitive. If it is possible, change your location. If you cannot change your physical location, change your mental location. I might be in Nigeria right now, but I'm in New York in my mind. I might be in Nigeria right now, but there are places I am in my mind that I have not even been to. You have to change that. Then another thing she talked about is connecting with people. I'm trying to rush because of the time. Connecting with people online. Please, I beg you, don't go and be a nuisance. Because, oh, you are coming from the slum. I don't care. If you come to my DM, I will give you bass boast. Don't come to my DM like that. Make sure when you're connecting with people, start by even engaging in their comment section. Let them know you. Let them even anticipate your comment. There are people that when I post a picture, I wait for their comment because it's constructive and it's engaging. That's what you want to be intentional about. The third thing, build your personality. There are some of you, is the same shirt you wear every time and it doesn't smell nice. Make sure that your physical appearance is even attractive in the first place. If you want to meet people, if you want to aim higher, make sure you are even looking the part. Picture your highest self and start showing up as her. That thing is not just a statement or a quote for Instagram. It is so important. Then be intentional. My name is Gussie. It means, God uses someone intentional. Intentionality is the way to go. If you're not intentional, I was intentional before coming on this session. You have to be intentional. What is the thing you want for yourself? What is that thing that you want to achieve? How do you want to achieve it? You have to be intentional about all these things. It's not just saying, no, I'm coming from the slum. Nobody cares these days. 1,001 people are coming from the slum. What makes you different? And then lastly, I want to also talk about, yes, you're coming from the slum. What is that thing that you can do? It's not enough for you to put it online. You have to run ads. And then for some of us, even those that are not even from the slum, you don't need to run ads. Some of you need to go and do PR, proper PR, pay for PR. If I Google your name, you on this call now, what will I see? Some of you need to take your PR serious. It's not by promoting your Instagram post or your Facebook post. Go and do proper PR. Let international magazines, local magazines write about you. Some will say, oh, I don't want to beg, so it will not be as if there is strategic begging. Come and pay, I will teach you. That's all for now.
Fire. That's just wow. Thank you very much. I asked you to shatter, you shatter. You broke all the table, you broke the legs, you broke everything. Like you literally. Sorry, that was a technical error. You even broke the person sitting on the table. Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. And right before we go, and before we drop your social media handles, because I would love the Sabi Nation to follow you. Mr. Chibuna, you've been sharing some materials in the comment section. You've shared website, books, and all those stuff. Please, I want you to just share them before we round up the session for the panel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure there are a lot of things to share, but these are some of the key books that I've read and I still keep reading, especially in terms of helping one to control their mind. Think and Grow Rich is a very, very powerful book. If you can listen to it, have a hard copy, have the audio version, surround yourself with Think and Grow Rich every single day. Yeah, your mind will change, your mindset will get better. And then As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, I recently stumbled upon it this week, and it was very great. Then The Purpose and Power of Vision by Dr. Miles Muro of blessed memory. So the book will explain everything about vision and how vision forms, and then how you yourself can discover your own vision and then begin to run with it. And then this other, for people looking for opportunities, opportunitydesk.org is your plug. And the good thing about it is that it's always having a lot of opportunities for Nigerians. So just try and connect. A lot of people out across the world are already benefiting from it, and they are not even Nigerians. So for you who is a Nigerian, you need to take it seriously, and then you can be able to find the opportunities you need to take yourself to the next level. And to summarize my own speech or my own talk, a lot of value that I've gained from other panelists. I've been taking notes here as well. You need to be an avid learner. Someone, you need to always be learning. Like, I can't say because I'm a panelist and then I don't write down something I hear for the first time, or I don't write down something I'm trying to relearn or unlearn. So you need to always be ready to learn. You need to always be ready to absorb knowledge. Be a sponge. Keep absorbing knowledge. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much for those resources shared with us. Mr. Wisdom, in 2 minutes, what do you have for Nigerian youth who are under pressure of making it or making headway, whatsoever it is? What do you have, Mr. Wisdom, what do you have to say to Nigerian youth who are under peer pressure and it's leading to deterioration in their mental health?
Well, what is there to say to Nigerian youth? I think the panelists have done a good job to break down everything everybody needs to know, but I'm a Christian, so I like to say the best thing to do this season is to be very prayerful and to hold God. I'm sorry, apologies, I'm a Christian, so because many things that are happening today, we cannot just predict even tomorrow. So please be very prayerful and hold God. That's another good way to be able to scale through the many challenges that are before us and the pressures ahead of us. And our economy is not doing us any good also, so that is also contributing to the pressure many young people are facing. The cost of things are increasing. What used to be 5 naira 2 years ago is now 100 naira. So please, as you go about your daily activities, as you go about your life, if you're a Christian like me, please hold God and be very prayerful, and just have that faith, all the time that things are going to get better. Aside all the many strategies and very valid point that we have shared here today, I think I just want to add that, and I promise you that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. As we scale through some of these things, I'm just sharing that's how, I sort of battle a lot of things recently, and God always comes through. It's not a Christian panel, but I just wanted to add that because that is really, really key and important. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, thank you very much for that. To be prayerful, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. And before we go, I would like you to, all the panelists are on behalf of the team, Victoria, Nwana, the convener, the host, and the participants. I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for all the fire you spat here today. I want to thank you for all the wisdom you've imbibed in us. See, Sabi Gang, just drop some fire. Let me see some fire in the comment box. Just drop some fire. Appreciate our panelists. Thank them. It's not easy. They've tried all the way from Germany, Nigeria, and people in diaspora. They've made it down to this place. Just express your gratitude. Thank you very much. I'm thanking you on behalf of the Sabi Gang, the Skill Factory Africa, the team behind the SAP 2.0. Thank you very much. We do really appreciate this. We do really appreciate this, and we pray that may the Lord bless you really good. Quickly, I would like you to share your social media handle with us so that we can follow you. I would like.
We have shared. We didn't even wait for you. We don't share tire.
Okay, ma. You shared in the comment box already. Thank you very much for coming. We do really appreciate this. We hope that you will come whenever we call on you the next time. Thank you very much for coming. And you can have your leave.
What is your own name, moderator? What's your own name?
I said it earlier that I am Sam.
I didn't pick that.
Okay, I am Sam Babarinide. Thank you very much.
Babarinide.
Yeah, Babarinide. So thank you very much for joining us at this penultimate session. The next session will be coming up.
I'd like to take a screenshot real quick. All right. So I'm going to turn on my camera. I'm turning on my camera, all of you.
Yeah, you guys should turn on your camera.
Me, I'm ready.
Okay.
Got it.
Shots. Guys, please, I want to see that face again. Lord T.
I'm here. Take as much.
Hey. You know, you need to snap with Lord T now.
All right. Thank you.
Wisdom, I can see you here. I would like to get.
Please, someone who will send to me after snapping. I'm on staring. I can't snap.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for joining us, Lord T. Thank you very much, Miss Mirabel. Thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. Thank you very much, Mr. Chibuna. We are very grateful. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope to see you another time. Good time. It was worth it. The time was worth it. Thank you very much for the wisdom, for the fire. Thank you very much for everything you have said here today. I will pray that the Lord will replenish you. In the name of Jesus, we pray that the Lord will increase your knowledge base and you will continue to grow more in knowledge in the name of Jesus. Thank you very much. You can now take your leave. Hi, Sabi Gang. The next session is going to be by 8 p.m. I hope you know what's going to happen. You know, just as usual, the Sabi way, fire for fire. I'd like to see you here by 7 p.m. Pardon me, 7 p.m. I would like to see you here by 7 p.m. for the final session of the SAP 2.0. Thank you very much for joining us now. See you by 7 p.m.